Say hello. Hello, sweetie. I'm sorry, I will not accept that. So, and hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad that you've decided to join me again with another video. And if you're new and on this channel, we basically chat about relationships, love, dating. We basically touch on all things that's girly. So if you haven't watched my videos before, you are welcome. I love to have you here. I'm very happy that you're here to watch this video. And I'm Janae, and this is Jen's Juicy Tips, and I'm here to assist as like a friend or like a sister to basically give you some tips from my experiences that I've been through. In today's video, we'll be touching on why we choose losers all the time, and I hope you enjoy this video. Please keep on watching. Let's get into it. So point number one would be self-worth and confidence. So I basically join the two because the reason why you keep on choosing a certain type of guy is also based on how you see your self-worth on a certain scale. So if you feel that you are not worthy of like this nice guy that's sorted, he's got his things together, and sometimes you feel that you are not well put together yet, you don't feel necessarily worthy of being with such a person, so in turn you will actually rather choose the person that is lesser or lower than you. For a lack of a better word, I would say like it would basically be easier to go for someone that's on a lower standard as yourself, because then you can deal with him. Sometimes I've had ladies that would encounter a guy, a nice guy. He's together, he's got his job, he's got his car, he's got his life all set up, he knows where he's going type of thing. And then she felt that she wasn't really on that same path, or that he would look down on her, and she would basically feel a type of embarrassment or like ashamed that she's not where she's technically supposed to be at her age, and she decided not to go for that guy. So that sort of thing is a self issue. It's not external, it's not something that someone else caused. It's basically how you externalize your self-worth. So the same way how people will say they can know you by your friends, it's basically the same way in relationships. The type of guy that you choose is basically the type of guy that you feel that you're worthy of. Otherwise, you would find yourself choosing better options. So I would say try and spend more time with yourself to fix that, so that you can find your self-worth and actually put it out there. People will only see what you put out there. If you put out there that I'm timid, I'm shy, I'm not this kind of girl, I'm not where you're at, I'm still getting there, I'm still finding myself type of thing, and you find someone that walks all over you, that disrespects you, that disregards your opinion and speaks to you anyhow in public or in front of your family and your friends, that is something that you have to deal with yourself. And once you find your self-worth, you will see that you won't accept certain things. If you find yourself, like I always speak of myself like in the third person, and it's basically like I would say, what, Janae would never accept this. This is not something that Janae agrees with, so no thank you. If someone were to choose how he would treat me in public, like I've dated this guy before, and we would literally have fights at like family braais, like out with our friends, at a birthday party. It would literally just be anywhere, whether we be at a restaurant. It starts out nice, and like later something would just come up, and then the argument would just spark. It just like there wasn't a level of decency after a while. And I seriously had to start looking internally to find out, like, Janae, why do you keep on going for this type of thing? Why do you keep on going for this type of guy? And I found that I have really lost my self-confidence, and or my self-worth has really dropped, and I really had to work on that. to basically put myself, I would say, like on a pedestal, for the lack of a better word, not being cocky or being proud, but just knowing who I am and knowing that there's certain things that I will not accept from people. There's certain ways that I will not allow people to speak to me. And that is what I put out there. Like, I'm sorry, I will not accept that, you know? So, and that is what you have to do. You have to find yourself within yourself and put that out there, project that, you know. And sometimes, yes, people will see it as cocky, and that is okay. They will have to deal with it. And the people around you will find, like, what is going on with her? Why is she changing? Why is she being like this? No, you're just trying to get better things for yourself out of this one life that you have, and, you know, put it out there. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting good and better things for yourself, you know. So try to zone into that. Take some time, find out, why do I put out this type of image? Why do I allow certain people to speak to me a certain way? So if you're in a certain house and a certain upbringing, a certain environment, your mindset would also kind of be a certain way. And everyone's upbringing has a lot to do with how they interpret life, how they interpret things, how they understand things. So your upbringing and how you were raised has a lot to deal with, or a lot to do with how the type of choices you make in life, you know. Unless you decide that that is not going to be the way, and you can see that maybe the way my family is choosing things are not exactly for me, you know. So then you have to work on purposefully deciding for yourself that this is not where I want to go, this is not the route that I want to choose for myself. So I will rather start working on you know, creating an environment for yourself that will be a positive, a more you know, like a healthy environment for yourself. And sometimes there's nothing that you can do with your physical situation based on or depending on where you're at in life, and that is okay. You kind of have to just ride it out, especially like if you're young and you're like in your 18, 19s, you know, that sort of thing, and you're still living at home. There's really like nothing you can do at that stage except to work on your mind, you know. You can't really change your circumstances at that age, but as you grow, you get into university, you get into college, you start working, that sort of thing. And once you get out there in life, you'll be able to tackle life a different way, you know. So even though you can't physically change your situation, and your parents or your grandparents or whoever raised you, you can still within yourself and within your mind, like mentally, try and change yourself. For example, the way Nelson Mandela did. Even though he was locked up, he mentally has already conquered certain things, you know. So those are the type of things that you can sort out if you are in a position that doesn't allow you to change your physical environment. But if you are allowed to, if you are in a space where you're allowed to change your physical environment, then do so. If it's something that if you are working and you are by means to move out, create a better environment for yourself so that you can grow, so that you can move forward. Another reason why we choose a losing or a loser will also stem from loneliness. Sometimes we're not patient enough to wait for the right guy, and we feel like it's taking so long. Sorry, my coffee is getting cold. Feel the right guy is taking too long to come along, so then we tend to choose really anyone that's like around, that is willing to accept us, you know. So in doing so, you also tend to lower your standards. You will lower what you envision for yourself and the type of person that you wanted alongside you. And may I also add that, you know, once you attach that person to you, it might not be like a physical glue on, but your whole life basically gets gelled together, you know. I mean, you've dated, so you would know what I'm talking about. Your likes start becoming his likes, and where you guys go together would be different. Sometimes it wouldn't have been a place where you would normally choose to go. Oh, look who came to say hi. Say hello, everybody. Say hello. Hello, sweetie. So yeah, once you're lonely, it's one of those things that you don't have the patience to wait for the person, you just like, hey man, I might as well take him because he's like, yeah, and he wants me. So who cares? Like, I guess any affection is better than no affection. But that's really not true, because as much as you think it's not going to affect you, it tends to always affect us. We are women, it's what we do. We tend to latch on, and we tend to incorporate someone else's things into our lives, and we just take it in, and before you know it, your personality changes, and how you see things and what you would have done changes. And even if we don't intend to do it on purpose, it happens. It's one of those things. And the last one for now, I would say, would be blindness. So what I mean by that is, like, sometimes guys just give you a lot of BS, you know, and they are like the perfect salespeople of themselves, and they know exactly how to project themselves, not knowing that is just a mask. You know, and they have like nothing behind them. You know, they can throw you things in the sky and in the clouds, and you know, he's gonna build you a castle, and you know, before you know it. And sometimes there's warning signs, which I will get into another video. Warning signs of a loser. But warning signs of a loser, we'll get into that in another video. But we tend to be blind sometimes. You know, we're blinded by his pizzazz and his suit, and you know, his whole charisma and his persona. It's so handsome, you know, and sometimes they are just full of BS. To be honest, that is the truth. And I mean, I've been through it, so I know what I'm talking about. And sometimes you really can't tell, you know. Men are like so good at faking it. I mean, I know they say women can be fake, but men are by far the best at being fake. They can literally be fake in a relationship, and you will not even pick it up. So ladies, please try and be a bit more awake, especially if you see them starting with their excuses. Excuses is like a big warning, but I'm not going to get too much into that. It will just be, I'll just go back to saying that it can be blindness, that we tend to not see that this is a loser. He's actually got no life, no goals. He's not really a working type of person. He's 3 months here, 1 week there, then he's got a cough, then he's got a headache, and he loses his job. Like, he's just like, before you know it, if you're at a restaurant, you end up paying. He's always driving your car, going out night, he picks up his friends with your car, or you know, it's just one of those things. Like, he'll make you feel like a queen, but you're actually taking a taxi somewhere, you know. So yeah, I'm not saying I don't have anything against people taking taxis. I'm just saying sometimes, yeah, it's a little otherwise. Anyway, that's all for today's video. If you'd like today's tips, please hit the like button below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my other tips. We will be doing another part 2 of this video as well, so be sure not to miss that. Click on any of my other videos if you haven't seen them yet, on being desperate, being lonely. Those videos will help you as well as we build up ourselves on this journey that we are on. And I will definitely see you back here next time. Keep things juicy.